Operating system is a software that supports computer basic functions like scheduling, executing, and controlling. This is the example of operating system: Windows, Mac OS, Linux, and Unix. First operating system, Microsoft Windows. This is the versions of Microsoft Windows OS. MS-DOS was the standard operating system for IBM-compatible personal computers. Microsoft Windows 1.0 was introduced in 1985, while the Windows 2.0 released in 1987, which is designed for the Intel 286 processor. This version is released in May 1900s, offering better icons, performance, and advanced graphics with 16 color, designed for Intel 386 processor. Windows 95 released in 1995. This OS was significant advance over its predecessor Windows 3.1. This version released in June 1998. Windows 98 offers support for a new number of technologies, including FAT32, AGB, MMX, USB, DVD, and ACPI. This version released in September 2000. The Windows Millennium Edition, called Windows 7, was an update to the Windows 98 core and includes some features of the Windows 2000. This version of Windows operating system, Windows NT New Technology, is a 32-bit operating system that supports preemptive multitasking. Windows 2000 is an operating system for business desktop and laptop systems to run software applications, connect to internet and intranet sites, and access files, printers, and network resources. This version released in 2001. The new operating system is built on the Windows 2000 kernel, giving the user more stable and reliable environment than the previous version of Windows. Windows Vista offered an advancement reliability, security, and deployment, performance, and manageability over Windows XP. 7 features multi-touch, support Internet Explorer, 8 improved performance and startup time, AeroSnap AeroShake support for virtual hard disk, a new and improved Windows Media Center, and improved security. Windows 8 was released on August 1, 2012. Windows 8 PC enabled to load and start up in a matter of seconds rather than in a minute. The next operating system is the Mac OS. The Mac OS history. Apple Incorporation was introduced Mac OS in 1984 to run the company Macintosh line of personal computers. Macintosh inspired Microsoft Corporation to develop its own GUI, the Windows OS. Timeline of key features added to every Mac OS X release to date. If you use a Mac, you take for granted the number of features that when they were first added to the OS X were pretty big deals. And now, this is the 11 versions of Mac OS. Early days of Mac OS. They were only for early adopters and developers, and average user didn't pay much attention to them, in part because they were quite incomplete. But when 10.1 Puma was released in September 2001, OS X started its long march toward to the future. The Mac OS Jaguar. The first major release of Mac OS X designed for new Macs featured new look with refinements to Aqua, which was the foundation of Mac OS graphical user interface. The Mac OS Panther. In October 2003, Apple released Panther with the new brushed metal interface, advertising as having more than 150 new features. Memorable additions include fast user switching. Mac OS X Tiger. Tiger was released in April 2005 with the Apple this time claiming more than 200 new features, and some of them were pretty big features like Spotlight Dashboard, Smart Folders, Smart Mailbox, and more. Mac OS Leopard. Nearly 2.5 years after Tiger, Apple introduced OS X 10.5 Leopard in October 2007. This release was delayed by the iPhone earlier that year, which took up much engineering time that Apple wasn't able to focus on Mac OS as much as they. Snow Leopard released in August 2009. It was the Leopard what Mountain Lion would be to Lion, what El Capitan would be to Yosemite. OS Lion was released in July 2011. Mountain Lion released in 2012. Mountain Lion was another maintenance upgrade. It added a number of features that come from iOS such as Game Center, Notification Center, Notes and Reminders, and the Message app replaced in iChat. In 2013, OS X Mavericks, released in October 2013, Apple finally realized they didn't need to charge for their operating system. A number of new apps were added, some of them inspired by the iOS equivalent, such as Maps and iBooks. 2014 OS X Yosemite, back to an annual release schedule. Yosemite saw the light of the day in October 2014 and adopted the flat design of iOS. New features including continuity and handoff to day section, notification center, and the photo apps, which replace iPhoto. 15 OS X El Capitan. El Capitan, released in September 2015, has hardly any new features but does address many of the bugs were annoying users of Yosemite. The next operating system is the Linux. First, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is actually a relatively late arrival on the Linux scene, having been announced in just 2000, but it's more than made up for the shorter history. Fedora. Fedora is the free version of Red Hat. Has been a commercial product since 2003. Linux Mint, currently in DistroWatch third spot with popularity. Linux Mint is an Ubuntu-based distro that was just launched in 2006. OpenSUSE holds the number 4 spot in popularity on the site and also foundation of novel SUSE Linux Enterprise Desktop and SUSE Linux Enterprise Server products. The non PC Linux uses the 3D desktop environment and is essential lightweight version of Mandriva. Debian, dating back to 1993, Debian is currently known as one of the most well-tested and bug-free distros available today. Mandriva, formerly known as Mandrake. Mandriva is notable for its cutting-edge software excellence, administration, and 64-bit Mayon. Italian Sapphire is essentially a leaf-seating version of Linux, which is known for allowing users to visually optimize each component. Linux is another package aimed primarily at experienced user interested in tweaking and optimizing their system. Puppy Linux, last DistroWatch top 10 currently is Puppy Linux. Compact distro that's ideal for older hardware and situations where computing resources are minimal. Unix is a family of multitasking and multi-user computer operating system. Development started in 1961 and published eternally in November 1971. Now this is the major versions of Unix. Solaris is a Unix operating system originally developed by Sun Microsystem. In early 1993, it called Sun OS. In 2010, it renamed Oracle Solaris. SQUnix is a closed-source computer operating system developed by Santa Cruz Operation. The first release of SQUnix is in 1989, and the latest is in 2015. AIX is a operating system developed by IBM and it's a Unix base. Typically used for enterprise server and comes with a robust set of security options, such as Kerberos V5 network authentication and dynamic secure tunnel authentication. HPUX first release is 1982 and the latest is May 2019. Ultrix first release is 1984. It's been 35 years ago. And the latest release is 1995, 24 years ago.